Hi guys, welcome back to Plow and Pantry. I'm Alicia. If you're new here today, I thought I would do a mid-month garden tour. Things are starting to hop, pop, and grow. I still don't have the whole thing planted, such is life, but things are beginning to grow and there is progress being made. Most of the summer, I usually bring you garden tours mid-month and end of the month, just because there is so much change so quickly. And today is the first of those updated tours. So I'm standing here amongst a bunch of peppers that are starting to grow. We have a couple little blooms on some of them. This whole pepper bed is doing pretty well. I will say that I filled this bed and the one behind it. I topped it off this year with some cheap dirt. It was organic, but cheap soil from Walmart, and I'm not very happy with it. It's not killing my plants or anything, but it's actually not very good soil texture. It's thicker, bigger chunks, almost like a mulch, and it's making it hard for my plants to really grow. So I might top them with something a little finer and water it in to fill in gaps. But things are growing. We do have the first bloom starting. I actually have a baby banana pepper, a couple of them over here. And they're not harmed, but they're not doing as well as they could be. Up here in the bed in front of me, I do have the lettuce. This is supposed to be one that does really well in the heat. Starting to grow. I tasted it yesterday. I still don't like it. It was still bitter, and that's what I feel about every summer lettuce. It's bitter no matter what people tell me about how good it is. So still not a winner for me. If you have a suggestion of a lettuce that is not bitter in the summer, let me know in the comments. I would love to know. My peppers over there are also doing well. All of my Kilimanjaro marigolds are doing really, really well. And over here, I gotta change your shot here. Over here, the garlic is almost ready for me to pull. I like to wait till it's about 1/3 of the things are brown. And then I had a couple extra onions I stuck in here, and they are not doing well. That's okay. Those are shallots. Same thing, almost ready to pull. In this bed right here, this is where I had put some herbs, and I did end up actually filling in a couple extra things. So I had some baby onions here that did not do great, but I got some extra basil at the store because mine wasn't ready yet, and I buy it in the pot instead of the package at the store. It's cheaper in the produce section than buying a plant in the garden section. And that pot that was like $2.50 or something had a bazillion basil plants in it. And so when I used what I needed to, I put the rest out here, and that's these larger ones. They're doing well. These are all the other ones. The parsley is all in now. Some of the basil over here is slower than that one over there. The dill is doing okay. It's getting a little yellow. It's really hard with this chunkier. Hi, geese. You see them? Want to see the geese flying overhead? Anyways, it's really hard with the chunkier dirt stuff to keep it watered enough. It just dries out too fast that way. So I'm having to water a lot out here. So I need to get that top dressed quickly. There's a lot that hasn't gotten done that's based on, can I get it done fast enough? All right, so right down here are just other peppers that are doing well. There is a nasturtium over there also doing well. And over in this box I just planted yesterday for sweet potatoes. They are still adjusting and not necessarily doing that well right now. It could just be I picked them up on clearance at a store. I hadn't planned on doing sweet potatoes. They were very, very, very dry. So I probably need to douse them. The dirt is wet, the soil is wet, so I probably just need to give them some time to adjust. But this is what they look like when I put them in the ground. It's only been a day, so they need some time. Looking out this way is the mess that I'm still working on, the whole quadrant, almost half of the raised bed area. My bee balm is finally blooming. I've only seen a couple bees on it. I always see bees on my comfrey, not necessarily my bee balm, but I think it has beautiful flowers, so I grow it for the flowers. And then when it's done blooming, I will harvest some leaves for medicinal use, and I will pull that out and plant something else here. All of these beds I am still working on getting cleaned out. Asparagus is over there. It's a slow process. Some of this will be fall crops anyway, so it's not a huge rush. But I am spending a lot of my time out here trying to get this stuff cleaned out get it cleaned out before the weeds take it over again, because my husband just weed whacked this for me because it had gotten overgrown, which always just makes it harder. And then over on this is the corn. It's not come up yet. I only planted it like 3 days ago, so it should be poking up anytime soon. It's only about half mulched. I need more boxes and more mulch. So no progress yet on the corn, but it should be any moment now. Hi, cheeky babies. Look, there's bees on my comfrey. Buzzing all over. I'm hoping to get bees next spring, and I should definitely put a comfrey plant near where I want to put their hives. Out here in the main in-ground garden area, I still don't have this side planted. I've been working on prepping it, so hopefully this week it will go in. I'm putting watermelon down there. I'm trialing a lot of cucumbers for University of Tennessee this year. And I have tomatillos going in over here as well. I need to plant green beans right where I'm standing. Also trialing some of those. This row is doing great. This is the pepper row. It's all growing. There are several blooms. Everything has gained in size, and just the last few days has been psh, 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 every morning. Potatoes are they're growing super fast now. They're doing super awesome in the middle. Those are those 3 types that I planted. Sarpomira are the ones in the far end. Burbank russet, I think, are in the middle. There is kind of a gap in there where some are just starting to come up, whereas others are like a foot tall. And then Huckleberry Gold, I believe, are the last ones. But they are all producing now and doing their growth thing, and they're looking healthy for now. The row of onions is doing well. 1 or 2 has kind of dropped off the radar, but the others are growing nice and thick and strong, and the tomatoes are starting to do well. I actually had to come out yesterday and prune off. I always prune off any lower leaves that touch the ground, and I prune off the suckers in between only when they're young. I don't bother to keep that up long term. It's just too much work, but in the beginning when they're small like this, and it's easy to control main branches and things. So I had to come through and do that yesterday. So those are actually starting to really get moving. There are a few that have blossoms beginning to form on them as well. So exciting news. I am struggling with these 2. They are super sauce tomatoes. And I feel like those have struggled. I think these are the only 2 I have planted. I've replaced one of them already. And I just feel like they're just not doing as well. And I think they're supposed to be like a new breed, and maybe they're just not. So far, I am not impressed. I had high hopes because you're supposed to be able to put like 1 per jar when you're canning. I actually had to start staking stuff up. Some of these are bigger and need a little more support now. My experimental row. And these are my beefsteaks and momatoros. Don't know if you saw in the background my mess over there. That's the blueberry patch. We have blueberries, and every year I don't get them covered in time, and the birds get them, and this year I got them covered in time. So we are eating blueberries by the handful. I usually post my little berries over on Instagram, but we have been enjoying those, and the raspberries right behind them over there are always productive without even trying. So that is it for the garden today. Hopefully next time I see you at the end of the month, I will have the rest of the garden in. Things will be even more lush and grown, and we should have lots of flowers on things and some produce beginning to come in, and I'm super excited for the weeks to come. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you guys on the next video.